GreatDailyRadio.com. Keep us on the air, help us out. And also our wonderful sponsors, go to ActivateFIQ.com for supplements that actually work in your body and absorb. Isn't that a treat? So appreciate you listening in. We're kind of dissecting the role of the president. And I think this is important right now to have this really honest conversation and really look at what the president's supposed to do and doesn't do, and how we're conflating it. We're the ones that are having a hard time understanding what presidents should do and shouldn't do. So one of the things was he did hire Fauci, then he did fire Fauci, and the media never said it, but he never appeared anymore at the White House. And wasn't it Scott Atlas who went in? I'm trying to think. Somebody else went in that was actually sort of exposing things. But there you go. So there's always that flip side. But Warp Speed was horrid, and the bump stock not good. So that was another hit on guns. And here's the deal: there's always the hills to die on for the presidencies. For George Bush Jr., it was they put him in so that we could go to war and build up the war budgets, and we could go take Iraq over. And, of course, to perpetrate 9/11, okay? For Obama, it was the hill to die on for the deep state was socialized medicine, turn us into a very really communistic country with socialized medicine. And there was a couple other things. Keystone, right?
The Keystone Pipeline.
He ended it. Trump opened it.
He stopped that. He gave us Elena Kagan and Sotomayor on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
He had some.
Oh, yeah. So many things. The list is endless on what he did. But I think socialized medicine was like their hill to die on.
Oh, absolutely. That's the number one issue that comes up with Obama.
When Trump went in, it was going to be, I think, to utilize COVID, to utilize the whole COVID narrative and the stealing of trillions of dollars, the looting. It's always looting behind each president, but yeah.
The Affordable Care Act, I had really good health insurance, but because of the Affordable Care Act, I can't keep what I had. So I have to do the Medicare and the stuff.
Right.
Because of the Affordable Care Act, I'm going to actually have to pay out of pocket an extra $8,000 a year. That's how affordable it is.
The unaffordable.
Yeah. I mean,
unaffordable socialized medicine.
They name these programs the complete opposite of what they do.
We get socialized medicine like what's in Europe, but we have to pay the high price.
Right.
They don't even have to do that. I mean, they get the 5-month waiting list, but we actually have to pay the high prices still. So we got the worst of all of it. Also, he wanted to, one of his points in his ad was to modernize military and make it the strongest ever. We already have the strongest military of anyone in the world. We also don't need to modernize it anymore with more weaponry, because if we have more weaponry, where does that take us? It takes us into more wars to utilize it. It's like a local police department being given a tank by the feds for their SWAT, and of course they want to go use it. Same concept, right? So I don't want to see that. I think that if anything, don't modernize them and bring them back to the core of what they were supposed to be, and stop letting men become women in the military, and we're paying for it. Oh my gosh. So ridiculous. And also Scalia's life was ended, I'll put it that way, under the Obama regime. I don't think that was an accident. Unless all judges go to houses owned by Democrats and end up with a pillow on top of their face when they wake up.
Right.
I'm going to say that's not an accident. That happened under the Obama regime. So there's always these hills to die on. And that's why I keep saying digital tyranny is coming in. And so they've got to have that. They've got to have that happen. And so what's the best case scenario for the deep state to have that happen? Well, what was the best case scenario to allow them to do the taking of Iraq was to have Bush in. So that doesn't look good, right? That doesn't look good for what's coming. And also the persecution of Christians is coming.
Fast.
Make no mistake.
It's coming fast.
Make no mistake. So as far as the things that were touted, there are some good things that happened, and I would expect that. Right now, there's a lot of talk about no tax for tips. I could care less. That is, That is a non. What? Who cares besides the waiters? I used to wait tables 25, 30 years ago. Okay, who cares? No, more like 40 years ago. Who cares? What a weird thing to focus on. I don't understand why. You got me on that one.
Yeah, no, it is weird. They're making a mountain out of a molehill there.
Yeah. So he ousted the lying media, which I completely loved, but we got the fact checkers as the response. Not a good thing. No bueno. Okay, let's take a caller. Hi, caller. Welcome to the show. Go right ahead.
Communism. The candy machine is empty and broken. Hi, guys.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so there's a lot of focus on things right now that are, I don't know why. He has a friendly posture towards pro-choice in many ways, which I don't agree with at all. There's many things. Now, somebody could say to us, and I'm sure you're probably thinking this, okay, but you got to vote for him, otherwise we get Hormala, word salad, and her creepy groomer. I'm not saying that, though. That's not what we're saying.
No.
You know, Glenn Beck put up a post, and it said, if we lose this election, we lose our country. Okay, they've been saying that for 30 years or more. Okay?
In the meantime, we're losing the country.
In the meantime, we're losing the country. And all of that time, okay, it's not like now we're off of a cliff. Now we're going to go off the cliff. And so I stated, well, the founders didn't wait for a better king. They did it themselves, because it doesn't reside in what new king gets to operate the citizenry, okay? The subjects. It's about us, we the people. That's the whole memo here. We put all of this into the presidency. I want him to do this, 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 and this. I want her to do this, 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 and this. And most everything is something they shouldn't be doing or can't do. And no light is shining on Congress or the people. And I'm sorry, but we're the ones. We suck up to Congress. We treat them like rock stars. We take selfies with them. These people are pukey. Go look at your list of senators, even your most favorite one. Do you see anyone leading out of the pack and doing something? No, you don't. You do not. So we're not, as a people, if we keep saying, if we lose this election, it's all in the election. If we lose it, we lose the country. We're losing the country now. We have voter fraud at the yin yang. We have voter fraud that no one's done anything about. Nobody. It doesn't matter who we're talking about. Even your favorite, not mentioning voter fraud. They'll steal the vote for whoever they want to put in. It's a done deal at this point.
Yep.
Do you still vote? Sure. There's only so many things, you do, but just know that it's stolen right now. Be right back. Kate Daly Show. Chris Ann Hall coming up.
Lunch in St. George just got better with Great Harvest Catering. Need to feed the team or planning a lunch meeting? Great Harvest has got you covered. Enjoy fresh, handcrafted sandwiches, crisp salads, and mouth-watering sides, all made from scratch with the best